my heart wasn't in it. I kind of lost my passion for the game, my fire. I didn't like how the game changed over time. And in season 4, I loved the way the game was balanced and everything. By season 6, I hated what the game had become.
They are young. They earn a lot of money. And they are famous all around the globe for playing a game. This is the official podcast of a professional esports team. These are the ESPORTS ROCSTARS. Welcome to ESPORTS ROCSTARS episode number 4. My name is Fred. Hello to Tien.
Hello.
My co-host. Me, Fred, I'm the video guy of the ROCCAT Studios, and Tien, you are the social media guy. Can you tell us your full name, Tien?
Gia Tien Ho.
Gia Tien Ho. So we literally can say that you are the social media ho of ROCCAT.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. And now...
Oh, I guess can't stop laughing.
We are broadcasting from the ROCCAT Studios in Hamburg, Germany. Everything that we say, everything that is recorded with the Khan Pro gaming headset by ROCCAT, also our guest. Today's esports rockstar is coming from the United Kingdom, now talking to us from the ROCCAT Gaming House in Berlin. In this episode, we don't speak to one of the players, but to the guy who can send the players to bed if they were naughty. ROCCAT's head coach, Simon Payne, also known as fredy122. Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm okay. Bit early in the morning, but...
A bit early in the morning, so you didn't send yourself to bed.
So it's 11 o'clock, so it's not really early for us, but it's early for esports, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, long time no see, Freddy.
Well, it's been you say that, but it's been only a couple of days.
Did you get the joke?
Presence.
Did you get the joke with from Norskeren in the pre-game comp?
No, I haven't watched that actually.
Which joke?
No. When, like before the matches, they talk so much random shit. So you can curse, just so you know. And they talk so much shit, it's unbelievable. And I listened to it, and Norsken did a really clever joke, and you didn't get it because you probably don't listen to hip hop. You know this bank account song from 21 Savage?
No.
It's like, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And he did like, I got 1, 2, 2, Freddy in my bank account. And I was laughing my ass off.
I had no idea what he was saying, but I still found it a bit amusing. You can't control your players.
I educate you right.
Freddy, we start every show with 10 quick questions to our guest. Are you ready?
Oh, no, but let's go.
Question number 1, your favorite food and drink?
Pizza and orange juice.
Good choice. Pizza is mine too.
Who doesn't like pizza?
Yeah.
Do you know anybody that doesn't like pizza?
Yeah, my grandmother.
What?
My grandmother doesn't like pizza. And a different generation, I don't know.
Do you like pineapple on your pizza though?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
Get away.
What about you, Freddy?
Yes, welcome to the club.
Yes, man. Pizza Hawaii. It's the shit.
No, world divides in 2 sections. The one that doesn't put pineapple on the pizza and the other one that's just disgusting.
Okay, so are we going to do the podcast now about pineapples on pizza?
All right, Freddy, next question. What's your favorite League of Legends champion?
Renekton.
What? Not Aatrox?
Yes, despite all the memeing, I actually play Renekton better, and I think it's more fun.
You just destroyed all the Aatrox mains' hearts.
Aatrox is different now. He got changed.
Yeah.
Back in my day, he could heal a lot more.
He's a different one now. Freddy, you can morph into one League of Legends champion in real life. Which one do you choose and why?
Oh my, that's a difficult one. Let's go with Volibear.
Volibear.
Why?
So I can release my inner animal.
Okay. But why Volibear? Why not Warwick or something like that?
It's just the first thing that came to mind. Maybe because we played it a couple of times.
So are you leaking the strats now? Oh my god. Freddy, man.
Freddy, what's your favorite game of all time? And don't say League of Legends.
Say League of Legends if it's the right one.
League of Legends. Are we talking about game that I've played or watched, or
Your
different
favorite game of all time, like video game.
Video game, right?
It doesn't matter of console or PC.
Apart from League of Legends, it's probably PUBG, at least right now.
Really?
Yeah.
We're talking about of all time, not like right now.
Of all time.
You have something old in your cellar, like
I also played something called Renegade back in the day, Command and Conquer.
Really?
That's probably my favorite game. I played that.
Command and Conquer Renegade. It was awful.
Wasn't it? Wasn't that the first person shooter, right?
Great.
That was the first person shooter. The
Command person.
Third person.
I never played it, to be honest, and I played like every Command and Conquer game, but not this one.
Oh, I loved it.
Awful.
It was. I kind of grew up playing that game.
Nice.
That's the game that that got me into gaming so much.
So
And,
did you play like Tiberian Sun or something like that as well? Or?
Red Alert. Say Red Alert.
A little bit.
Okay.
I liked Red Alert as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love Red Alert.
But that's what Renegade was. It was basically it was like a first-person version of that game, or third-person version of that game.
Oh, really?
What's your favorite music?
Actually, I'm not the biggest music guy, but I do like listening to music that came from movies, because normally they have quite an epic soundtrack, you know.
So Hans Zimmer is your favorite?
Actually, yes, quite a lot of his stuff is quite good. Yeah.
What do you love the most about being an esports professional?
I love the thrill of it, I'd say. It's kind of the flow of going on stage, and you're really, really invested in your team, more so than a fan, I think, because you live the emotions after losing and winning. So I would say that, yeah.
What really sucks about being an esports pro?
The hours during the split. So you work 6 days a week, and you also work like maybe 10 hours a day-ish. More if you're a player.
A lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah. When you're preparing for a match, do you have any rituals?
When I was a player, I did. I always had to go to the toilet about 4 times before a game, if you can really call that a ritual. But it got to a point where I had to go to the toilet, otherwise I could not go on stage and feel comfortable. Now, as a coach, I know that I'm only on stage for a couple of minutes. So I don't really have a ritual as of now.
What about the candy?
Oh, yeah, the candy. The Haribo of victory hasn't really caught on as a tradition yet. I've tried, but
we lost on Sunday because of it. No, on Saturday.
We need a new tradition.
Yes.
Your candy was missing.
No, I get you better Haribo candy, and it will work.
Yeah.
Okay, this is an important question. Freddy, you are stranded on a lonely island. What are your 3 items you take with you? Don't think too long about it.
Do I have... I guess I don't have internet, right?
You could wish for a satellite that gives you internet.
Let's say a hammock.
A what?
A what?
A hammock.
What's a
A
hammock?
hammock?
Yeah,
What's a hammock?
To hang up between trees.
Ah, Hängematte in German.
With German, we don't
hammock.
know. Yeah, a hang up.
That's a good idea, okay?
A bit of comfort,
what else?
you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I should give some real answers here. A tarp, you know, so that when I can build my shelter, I don't get rained on, and I have cover from the wind.
Okay.
Nice.
And the rain.
And the third one?
Third one, I'd need something to do. So if I don't have an internet connection, then maybe I'd need some books to read.
Okay.
Cool. Which book would you take with you?
I have no idea.
Okay.
The Lord of the Rings.
I'd have to go to a bookshop before and pick.
Oh, okay.
Nice choice. Very good choice.
Choice it is.
And the last and most important question, which key is best for Flash, D or F?
D, obviously.
Yes.
Is that even a question?
Who was the only outcast? EQ. EQ put it on F, so you need to coach him up, man.
Yeah, and every time you see him fail a flash, you know why.
Yeah.
Okay.
He flash and doesn't dash.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Freddy, now let's get personal. How did you become a professional player? Let's first just talk about your career as a player, because you were a professional player before you became a professional coach. Let's just talk about your career as a player. How did that happen?
Well, I think the first thing that comes to mind as soon as you asked me that was luck. Because I was just a kid playing a video game, a new video game, League of Legends. I actually moved on from Renegade to play this game. And I was just playing it too much. I had no idea it would get big or anything. I went to university and all of a sudden LCS gets announced. And since I've been playing League of Legends from the very beginning, I was quite good at the game, you know. I knew a lot compared to other people. So LCS got announced. I randomly skipped like a week or two of university, went to France, practiced, played an LCS qualifier in Poland, and yeah, we qualified. And so it was a big bit of luck on my part, I think, when I look back.
How was it like luck? In what regard?
Because again, I was just I had no intention of going pro. Like I didn't even think that there would be a pro scene other than a few tournaments. So it was just luck that I was playing the right game at the right time when LCS came along.
So let's begin. Like, how did you get into League of Legends? Like, who lured you away from Renegades, this top game?
One of my friends I used to play with, basically Renegade was dying as a game. No one was really playing it anymore. It was an old game, 8 years old or something.
It was alive?
Yeah, there was a bit of a competitive scene, but people just stopped playing because there wasn't any like incentive to play, no prizes or anything. So we were looking for a new game because we had nothing to do at the times where we would normally play. Like it'd be after school back in those days, there would be no one to play anymore. So we were looking for a new game, and my friend found League of Legends, and we gave it a try, and that's it, really.
How good were you in Renegades? Was there like a ladder?
We were really good. There was like a dedicated website for a league, a little Clang War league.
Okay.
And that was only like 10, 12, even 20 teams at some point competing. But that like gradually shrunk over the years.
Okay, so you were already involved in an esports scene.
I wouldn't call it esports, but competitive gaming for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, the game was released in 2002, so the dark age.
Yes.
Dark.
Yeah, but I mean, it's already competitive. So was your nick also fredy122 back then, or?
No, it did originate from this game because, as I said, the game was kind of dying at the end, and we were really good. And we got to a point where we were also trash talking our opponents a bit, so they didn't want to play us. So what we would often do is make new nicknames or smurfs on that game, so that they wouldn't know who we are when we were asking them if they wanted to play, and then we'd end up being able to play, right? So this was one of them, one of the names, and it just kind of stuck. So I just took it over onto League of Legends.
So it was just random typing some kind of name and then some.
And we made the names, like we made 2 names, me and my friend, so that we could look as bad as possible, So people would play us on the game, and that was actually it. So that's why I have the numbers on the name as well. Because when you hear my name, you think, he's not that great. Yeah, exactly.
Like Freddy, who can be good.
Yeah, but so
it's your name. Sorry.
Your real name is Simon Payne. That's a badass name. That could be a name from Game of Thrones or whatever. And it's Simon Payne, and your nickname is fredy122.
Yes, I'm undercover as fredy122.
Yeah.
So what was your main account's name? So if you have like listeners who used to be in the Renegade scene.
My original name, which my online friends still call me by, is Simpy.
Simpy. How you write that?
It's Simpee,
Okay.
which is kind of a mix of my first two names with the P at the end. It's just kind of a nickname that one of my parents gave me when I was like 8.
Oh yeah.
So that was my first gaming name.
Simpy. Nice.
So okay, so yeah, you took over this fredy122 name over to the league scene, and did you ever think about like changing it?
Yeah, I would have, but my issue was back in even before season 1, when I was like high elo, and then in season 1 you couldn't change your nickname back then, and by that time people already knew who I was, so I kind of judged that it wasn't worth changing name only for everyone to wonder who the hell I was and not know me, because I already had a reputation, so I just kind of stuck with it. But I think if you could have changed name earlier, then I probably would have changed. I don't know what I would have changed to before you ask me.
Yeah.
But something more catchy, hopefully.
You could have changed as a coach. No, it's all good. So what team were you on when you qualified for LCS? Was it SK already, or?
No, it was AAA back in the day, which was me,
AAA.
Schleier, No, Virtual, and my good old friend Karalius.
Okay. Yeah, AAA, we used to sponsor them, like even during season 1, I think.
Yes, that's how I started using my ROCCAT Sabu back in the day, I think.
Oh, that's the story.
So because you were sponsoring AAA. I even got a ROCCAT bag back then when I was in AAA.
So yeah. We sponsored AAA still in that time, and that's how you got the Sabu.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, Fred probably doesn't know the story, but...
Tell us the story.
So, or do you tell, Freddy? Like how the love with Rocket Mice.
Tian, you're the master of stories.
No, I'm not that good with it. But and I don't even know the early days, as I just realized. So all I knew was there was this one guy on SK who used our mice.
Mm-hmm.
So we gave
That was
him,
me.
Yeah, so we gave him for free.
Okay. Okay.
Like, oh, this guy's pretty good. Maybe we should get him to our team.
And then he wasn't very good on the team. No,
but, can we talk about like the implications that came with it because you used the mouse? I'm not sure if it's something you want to share publicly.
I mean, I just even from the very start in AAA days, I used the ROCCAT mouse, and then in SK, we were meant to use a different mouse. So I took on a little bit of a fine every month because I wasn't using the right equipment. Not a huge fine, but still a noticeable fine.
Really?
Because SK obviously wanted me to use their equipment, which is fair enough.
Their sponsors, yeah.
But I just liked the ROCCAT mouse.
So he paid.
I kept it.
Yeah. So yeah,
he paid so he can play with our mouse.
That's awesome.
Performance is everything, right? That's a bit of advertising for you, but it's actually a true story.
It's a true story.
That's great.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. We can end the podcast right now. It's a good advertising.
So this was episode 4. We don't want to talk about advertising. We want to talk about you, Freddy, and your career. About 2 months ago, we uploaded an interview with you to the ROCCAT YouTube channel. In this video, you really emotionally talk about the end of your career as ROCCAT's top laner. What made you quit? What made you quit your career as a professional player and become a coach?
I just felt, I think at the time, I wasn't, like my heart wasn't in it. I kind of lost my passion for the game, my fire. I didn't like how the game changed over time. And in season 4, I loved the way the game was balanced and everything. And by season 6, I hated what the game had become, you know, like it was my favorite game for a time, but that got changed. So with that, I lost a bit of passion. And after the ROCCAT split as well, I felt like I wasn't really going to get another good team as a player. I didn't even think I'd get an LCS offer. And so I just figured it wasn't really worth continuing and putting in the hours and putting in the effort in solo queue only to get picked up by a team at the bottom again and the story to repeat, you know, because there's a huge difference between being on a top team and being on like one of the bottom teams in terms of how you enjoy your life and how stressful your life is and how you feel about yourself. So yeah, I just made the decision that I don't really want to play anymore. I don't have the motivation, the commitment for it. And I was also getting quite old at that point, right? I think I was 24. That's quite old for gamers' age.
For League of Legends.
Yeah, for League of Legends.
I mean, in CS:GO, there's way older people playing.
Yeah.
Still.
Also, one of my parents got sick at the time, so my priorities shifted basically.
Okay. So how did that transition go then? That you thought about being a coach, or you know?
I mean, well, I didn't think I was good enough to compete anymore. I did think my brain was still good enough, and my knowledge about the game, everything I picked up over the years, you know, playing the game. I thought coaching would be kind of easy to transition in, if it makes sense, because I already have like all the knowledge. You know, I was saying, I've basically done this for 4 or 5 years playing League of Legends. Can't be too hard to transition that knowledge to the players, right? So
was it easy to transition?
The knowledge, yes, I would say so. I think what I need to work on is still like my actual coaching techniques. But when it comes to knowledge about the game, I think I have all that down to kind of a T almost. Transitioning was just a case of me being able to like get the knowledge over to them in a way they can remember and understand. And I think right now I've got that down.
Okay, so did it help you that you started as an assistant coach first before you became a head coach?
I mean, I would say I learned a lot that year. I learned from Grabs as well, quite a couple of things. I think he also learned some stuff from me, and I think we like mutually grew together. And also that was like also like my training year as a coach, so I've learned to like talk in front of a group of people about the game, which is not as easy as you think. Like it's basically every VOD review you have to do like a mini like presentation and lead the discussion a bit. So there was a lot to learn.
But to be honest, I was really surprised with how you talked in front of people, because I know how you were back then as a player, and you grew a lot in my eyes in that kind of aspect. Without like changing your personal style. So I like it.
The one great speech that Tian will always remember.
Yes.
After the first loss in LCS.
Yeah, it was a great speech. How did you get the offer to be assistant coach?
Assistant coach, I kind of approached Fly because I think he maybe already had some kind of idea, because that was at the end of season 6. Which is the year I stopped playing, and I did play the first split in ROCCAT, and I think some of the players that stayed in the team thought I might be good at like some kind of coaching job. So I think Fly already had the idea in his mind, but I also approached him because honestly, it's kind of true. Esports is about contacts in a way, and all of my old friends that I used to play with, they kind of stopped playing, so I didn't have many contacts left. So he was like the natural one I approached.
It's not just esports,
and he just said,
by the way.
You could be a good addition. Yeah, it's not just esports, really, is it? No, he said I could be a good addition to the team, so he just tried it out, and Grabs agreed to it, and yeah, that was that.
Cool. How did your world experience help you, like in general, as a player, but also as a coach now?
I mean, my world experience. On the one hand, it's gave me a good reputation that people can always look back to, like, oh, he's a coach, but he also went to Worlds, which I think is a big help for me in general. But also, when you play against the best players, you gain a lot of knowledge as well, and I can always bring that knowledge back to the players. I think I was a better player because I went to Worlds, and so that should make me a better coach.
Does the knowledge from back then still apply to today?
Mostly. The game's changed a bit, but the fundamentals and the core, they still kind of go back to the roots that they were at 3 seasons ago. It's just sometimes the journey to get there is a bit different with how the meta changes. And
yeah,
before this patch, at least, there was a lot more vision in the game than there used to be when I played. So the game is definitely different, but you can always apply it, and it's kind of similar if you understand what I mean.
Very, very simple question. Now that everything changed, do you like being a coach? Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I think the point I'm in my life right now, I'm getting up there, chasing 30. Like I said, my priorities have changed. If you would ask me if I want to be a coach or a player right now, I'd definitely say a coach, because I feel like I have a little more freedom, especially in the off seasons, than when I was a player and you have to continue playing. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the life. I'm enjoying like guiding the guys, and yeah, I wouldn't change anything right now.
Is the pressure that's on you, is that a bit different from being a player? Did it grow? Did it shrink? Is it just different? I would think that there is also a lot of pressure on you. Of course,
there is, but I would say, as someone who has also been, right now we're 6 and 8, right? I think if we were 6 and 8, and I was a player in this position, I would feel more pressure than I do now.
Yeah.
So that's good in one regard. Maybe it's because I'm experienced with this kind of pressure, so it doesn't bother me as much. But also, it's good because I'm not feeling so much pressure myself, so I can help the players deal with that. I can still be relaxed. I'm not getting stressed out by our position in the league, because I've been here so many times before.
Yeah. Freddy, please tell us about your job. Let's get practical. What is a head coach of an LCS team doing all day?
Watching VODs. No. Yeah, so I mean, I get to the player apartment. No, on most occasions, not always, but on most occasions, we have a quick 5-10 minute talk about what we're going to practice, so what we need to work on in the morning, and then we try to apply that in the games. I also have to I do individual drafts for each game. Like, drafting is my responsibility, though I do need feedback from the players. And each game we go through. So we play 6 games. We go through each game quickly at the end of each game. So maybe 20-minute VOD review. What went wrong? What we can do better. We do that for 6 games. We take a food break, and that's my day. It usually ends at 9:30, quite late. And yeah.
How does the analyst help you?
Cody's been really. Yeah, Cody's been really good this split, I have to say. He's been giving me advice on what he thinks we need to work on, which even when he's not, I don't always agree with what he tells me, but it's nice to have someone else giving his input and seeing the same thing that I am. So he's watching all the scrims. He's doing more than an analyst right now. He's almost being an assistant coach in a way. He's also grabbing VODs when I ask him to of Korea, to show the players. He's doing scouting reports of the teams, so we know what they've practiced in general, things like this.
Okay, so he's more like an assistant coach.
Yeah, don't tell him that, but he's kind of acting like one,
Okay.
which is good in my mind.
Let's talk about your relationship to the players. As the head coach, you practically are their boss, or kind of their boss. What kind of boss are you?
I would like to think I'm a pretty relaxed boss. I think the main thing is that from all the players, I do feel that they respect me. So in that regard, I don't have to be too strict or anything. We're not. I'm not. If someone turns up 5 minutes late for scrims, it's no. I don't make a big deal of it. Like I don't believe in stressing them out over things like this, because their life is stressful enough. They need to be stressed about the game and things like this. So I try to keep all the little stresses off them, basically. And
okay. So you're not in Jean-Luc Picard. You're more a Commander Riker. So you are like your management style is being a friend.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
You're tricky, man.
Yeah, bringing the Star Trek references here. I wouldn't say I'm like friends with them, but I am friendly towards them.
Okay.
Did you ever have to get loud?
Cool.
That's a good question.
Sometimes. When
Really?
people are
yes.
when people are talking too much during VOD review, which can often happen when you win, you're happy, right? I have two approaches. Either I wait for them to finish talking, which they normally do because they want to improve. So it normally takes like a minute, and they eventually realize, hey, Freddy wants to talk. Or if I'm, depending on my mood, I can also try and raise my voice above them to get their attention, you know? So that would be the case when I do it.
From my experience, in general, this team seems to me to be really easily managed compared to other teams we had before. Is that something you share?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they all came from hard places with other teams. So I think that in general, they're happy with what ROCCAT is offering them. But they also have a great work ethic as players. Like they want to improve. They don't want the same thing to happen again. They don't want to finish bottom of the league, which happened to maybe 3 of them, 4 of them. So yeah, they.
But I don't think that's such a big part of it. I think it's just their personality. You know?
As well, yeah, I agree.
They're kind of matching. And I don't think if they would have been on good teams that they would like slack off.
Not at all. No.
Have a different mentality.
Yeah, they definitely have good personalities for this kind of lifestyle. Like they can be serious, but also they can joke around and keep the mood good, you know.
ROCCAT as a team was often called in the last month like a talent factory. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's in general that's quite fair when you look at where the past players have been. I mean, even this split, I'm quite happy with the improvement of some of our players, and I think they've built up.
Yeah,
we built them up quite well. Like compared to what they were before the split, I'd say they've all made a lot of improvement, at least in their understanding of the game. Still have their weaknesses, but they're much better. They're much better versions of themselves.
Sorry, but I want to get back to that thing being strict to the players. Did you ever had to forbid something? Did you ever had to say, no, that's not good for you, don't do that?
I don't think I have this split.
No? Okay. No, I'm not talking about that split, but all time.
I had one thing with Memento, but I wasn't really angry at him. I just told him he needs to communicate with us better and do better.
Okay,
but that's not for
yeah, that's a little thing.
Honestly, but this goes back to the players, right? Because, like we just said, they're all dedicated. They all work hard. So I haven't felt that I've needed to forbid anything. None of them are going out partying or anything, you know? None of them are really disobeying the schedule and the rules of how you have to be as an LCS player.
Okay.
They do.
They act quite professional.
Okay.
Was there ever like a situation where you thought someone's gonna explode, like in the team chemistry or something like that? Because I saw them argue. It can get heated, but I never got the feeling like they're gonna kill each other, you know? So is there ever a situation with this team where you thought, this going
yes,
in the wrong direction?
We had a week of pretty poor scrim results. We had maybe 1 or 2 games left until in our last block until LCS the next day, and that was a bit of miscommunication. I think Prophet said something like, "If we don't do this, we will lose tomorrow," and that really angered Hikyu. So Hikyu and him had like a bit of a fight. It got really heated. I think Hikyu went out. Hikyu like went outside after, and I was a bit worried about the team mood after that. But they came back in, and they without that much guidance from me, actually, they kind of solved it themselves. And it did come down to like Prophet miscommunication mainly. Like his English is not the best, so he doesn't always use the right words. Yeah,
the right words.
Yeah, so that was one situation.
I think. Yeah, but I think they have some kind of special relationship since they were on the same team before. So that's how I feel about those two.
Yeah, I mean, they all have a goal they're working towards. They've all been in like difficult situations, and they're all hardworking. Like that, they're really similar, and they all get along.
Freddy, what's your vision for the future? Can you imagine to be a LoL coach for your whole life? To be honest.
I actually answered a question similar to this a while ago in a different interview, but I think my answer is the same. And when you work in esports, it's difficult to say, hey, in 3 years' time, I'm going to be an LCS coach, or I'm going to be an LCS player still. So I don't really make that assumption. I can say I would like to be. Like, I like the job, I like the lifestyle. So in a couple of years' time, hopefully I can still be an LCS coach. For my whole life, I don't think I would want to be. But yeah, that's my goal. That I mean, like I want to be an LCS coach for quite a decent amount of time, you know, considerable amount of time. But whether it'll happen or not in esports, it is so volatile, is a whole other story.
Yeah.
What's the most fun about being a coach? Like, what part of the day makes you smile?
I don't know. I think just being with the guys, really. Like, they're such a good teammate that even I'm like, they make quite a lot of jokes, and even I'm like laughing a lot. And it kind of brings me back to a time when I was playing, you know, and seeing these scrims, and sometimes there's stupid plays that happen in scrims. Even sometimes those make me laugh, you know, because I just remember how it was back in my day, and these kind of things always happen in scrims. That you never want to show the players that you're laughing, but just in general, it's quite chill and relaxing, and I just enjoy the day, I think.
Who's the biggest joke star on the team?
Well, it's a bit of a tie, really. Yeah, they're all different. Prophet is really funny, actually. When he gets a little bit triggered at something, his way of like expressing himself can be quite funny in a way. Just the way he is aggressive.
Yes,
I think you know what I mean, Tian. It's hard to put into words.
Yeah, I know exactly what
to put into words.
So, but yeah, it's like so aggressive, but actually what he says is like so constructive.
Yeah, it's like,
but on the other hand, you can't be like mad at him.
Yeah, you can't be mad when he's talking at you like this.
Yeah. Freddy, you have to get back to the team in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, but
we don't have that much time. I would suggest that we talk about what happened lately.
Well, I have one question.
Okay.
Oh, but it's lately. So Odo Arme had this interview yesterday. You probably read it.
I actually did.
Regarding like the split between like living space and office space. We had this kind of setup before on ROCCAT, and I think you also played in that setup. And he went even further with like renting their own apartments and stuff like that. And since you're a coach now and also a player who kind of lived in that kind of setup, what's your opinion on the whole topic?
I think the office system in general is really bad. So ROCCAT had it for 2 or 3 years, right? And I feel like you just lose so much time traveling between the places every day. But also, when you're not living together, something actually Maxler said, even when we had him in our team, is when he was with the office system, he felt like he could never like go and chill with the team, you know, and he could never like watch a movie with them and bond in this kind of way. And I think that's what you need as a team, is to be able to bond. And yeah, you give up a bit of freedom, but I think it's worth having the guys together so they can just bond in as a team.
Yeah. And they quite enjoy it. That's the feeling I have, like with this current team.
Yeah. And the problem we had with the office system was once the scrims were over, you went home, you didn't really interact with each other anymore. So if scrims were bad, you couldn't really like talk about it at any point. You couldn't go through it together. You just went home, and if someone was tilted, they were tilted, and the next day they had to refresh their mindset. But I just think the gaming house is superior. Maybe in his case, you know, like he's an older player, so having a bit of independence is actually nice, because at the same time, like I said, I'm getting older, and the idea of a separate apartment, I would want to live in the gaming house with the players, you know.
The players are living together in the ROCCAT gaming house in Berlin now, and you are living in a separate apartment, right?
Yeah, there's like a management apartment.
There's like a management apartment.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, but what do you think about the idea that players rent their own place?
Yeah, I don't like, unless a player requests it, I don't think it's something that's ever going to happen or should
would you allow it?
Because if you...
That's a tough question.
I would prefer... I would prefer not. Like, I would prefer to have the players in one space.
Because you were scared that he might be excluded from the others, right?
Yeah, like, you wouldn't want him to be excluded.
Yeah.
I think the only time I would be okay with it is maybe, for example, Fnatic. I think they have like 5 experienced players, you know. They all know what they're doing. They all know how to be professional. They will play it for a long time. That in that case, it might be okay for those like experienced players at their age to do it. I think it's okay.
Also, they have the life skills to survive. I mean, sometimes I'm really worried about these players who don't even know like to do basic stuff. But I mean,
to cook a meal or I don't know. Yeah, they're pretty young.
Yeah, but still, sometimes with 18-year-olds in the LCS, I think they're still like 14 or something. They
did nothing but playing LOL for their whole life.
I think it's also the thing that they live in this kind of setup. I think that it doesn't help them like gaining life skills.
I mean, the other thing is if you're looking to join an organization and one organization says to you, "Hey, you have to cook yourself," and the other organization says,
you have to cook.
"Hey, we're going to cook for you every day, 3 meals a day," then you know what choice someone's going to make. It's
same with the apartments. I mean, if a team says you have to get your own apartment with your own money, or the other team says we have an apartment here, you can live there. So I think it's also like this kind of thing with if you want to be treated like a professional, you have to act like a professional kind of thing. So if you want to rent your own place and stuff like that, you need to be on time and stuff like that. And I see a lot of players don't act like professionals, but they want to be treated like one, you know?
Yeah.
But not with our team. I think our team is really great this year. I'm honestly
good to make that clear there.
No, but I'm really surprised with how well they gel together and how professional they are, because you said they're not going out and stuff like that. If I go out, I always see some LCS players, but I never saw our players. So that's that's great. And I mean, Hikyu, we had the story where I met him 2 years ago or something, and I talked with him and I got like a glimpse at his personality, and I feel like he fits the team really well with his attitude and personality.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you need to prep for your scrims, I guess.
Yeah, let's talk about just some quick minutes. What's up to date for Team ROCCAT? Week 7 of Spring Split 2018 lies behind us. Last weekend you defeated Giants, but lost against Splice. The upcoming weekend, week 8, you are going to face 2 of the best teams of the split, actually, Fnatic and Team Vitality.
Yeah. Actually, we could talk about the patch all day. Since you're a coach, but we don't want to leak any. But we don't want to leak any strats, so I don't think we should talk about the patch. But
we have a tough week next week. That's for sure. It's kind of do or die for us, which is never a situation you want to be in. But looking back on the split, I think there are a lot of games we kind of threw away because we hadn't quite learned as a team how to close it out, or we just hadn't reacted properly in a situation, like Vitality flashbacks during the first game versus them. So yeah, I think there's about 3 or 4 games where I felt that we could have won, and if we won maybe like 1 or 2 of them, we'd be in a really, really solid spot right now. But as it happens, now we have a bit of a do or die week. But we told the players, like, mainly the main thing for them is just keep improving. Don't focus on the results too much.
Okay.
But you need to love that you still have it in your own hands or not. Like, you're not.
We have it in our own hands. It's really, really, really doable still.
I mean, I would love to.
I really want to get to playoffs with this team because I feel like they all deserve to go to playoffs because they put a lot of hard work in this.
Are you afraid of the upcoming weekend? The 2 matches?
No.
But isn't it like
fear is not an emotion we have.
So isn't it like positive pressure?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, now you have to be on spot. You can't do any mistakes and kind of put everything.
You have to realize though, and it's something we told the players as well. At the start of the split, everyone expected us to come last place even. I think we've already kind of exceeded expectations. Yeah. So we can win this week. Worst case is things go bad, and that's it. Things go bad, and no one expected us to like succeed this. But I mean, obviously we want to, but I don't think there's that much. Like, I don't want to say that. I don't want to give the impression that we're not trying our best to win. We obviously are. But pressure-wise, I don't think we feel that much pressure. We're just there to play, and hopefully we can pull it off.
But your own personal expectations wasn't like being last.
No, we always wanted to aim for playoffs. We always aim high, but
so you just have to put everything together this week's. From everything you learned this split, I guess. So it's like playoffs right now for us.
Pretty much.
It is. You can tell the players that, no?
Hey, we don't want to pressure them.
Yeah, but based on this streak, we actually have to go 2-0 this week. So we have the streak of being 1-1 versus every team.
We can go 1-1 and 2-0 next week.
No,
and it depends on the other teams that we're competing with as well.
I'm saying we're 1-1 versus every team right now. And we lost against Fnatic and Vitality, so it should be a 2-0 week this week to keep up the streak.
It's going to be a great Twitter post for you if we do go 2-0 again.
The streak is alive.
You got to, yes.
All right. You have anything else? Or?
No, and we don't have that much time because Freddy has to leave in some minutes. Last question. What as a gaming peripheral manufacturer, we have to ask that, of course, because we are interested in that. Which gaming gear did you use as a professional player, and maybe still today?
I mean, the ROCCAT ones. For my entire career, I used the ROCCAT stuff. The mouse, I still use the Savu, which is, ROCCAT doesn't sell it anymore, but I have a collection of them at home, stored away.
How many do you have spared? Like spared left ones?
I think I had like 8 at home or something, because my very first one hasn't even broken yet. Yeah. The wire's messed up, but...
Really?
Yeah, it's still stored away. It just, the mouse cable is... not in the best state, obviously, but it still works.
Stop biting on it.
It's not to eat, man.
No, I think it's because I like pull the wire and it
Vape.
hits the table. And I don't know.
And what keyboard do you use?
I've used a lot of different ones over the years. I think right now I use the Rios. Is it called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rios.
Rios, yeah.
Okay.
Mechanical keyboard.
Yeah. Without the buttons on the left-hand side, because I hate having those buttons on the left-hand side. Personal preference.
Like the Koreans.
Yeah.
Like in Korea, they take out the keys, the keycaps, so they know they're not able to press it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna ride the bike now to the player's apartment?
Yep.
You ride by bike?
Yes.
Oh, that's good, man. You care about the environment. Nice.
He doesn't have a car.
or he doesn't have a car. Yeah.
And it's nice weather outside, right? In Berlin, is it?
Don't be deceived by the sun. It's probably really cold.
Okay.
But not as cold as last week.
Yes, not as cold as last week.
Okay, Freddy, thank you very much for this very interesting interview.
Aren't you Freddy?
Freddy, my name is Fred. He's Freddy.
You're the real Freddy.
I'm the real Freddy, and he is fredy122, aka Simon Payne. Freddy, I'm pretty sure that we will talk again in this podcast in the future.
No, I don't want to talk to him.
Tien doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
Wow, Tien.
But I want to. All right, good luck for the upcoming weekend.
Thank you.
Can you go 2-0, please? For my heart.
Well, we'll try our best, Tien. We'll try our best.
Okay.
Okay, see you.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Nice guy.
Yeah.
He can talk pretty good.
And we have some kind of special relation because he's always making fun of me being on Reddit.
Okay.
And he says, what did he say? When he was a player, he's like, yeah, everyone just knows me and doesn't care about the players. Stuff like that. So he's still making fun of that if you could hear it a little bit out of his voice.
Okay. So we now come to the end of the show. Every one of you, every listener has the opportunity to become part of this show by giving us an iTunes rating. That's pretty important for us. And we got one new iTunes rating from user Starix, 5 stars. I like the first 3 episodes a lot. Looking forward for more. As you promised, to read out loud all iTunes ratings. Greetings to my granny and all my friends. Yes, thank you, Starix.
Hi, Starix, granny, and your friends.
Okay, thank you for making our show better. We read them all out loud. Please give us these ratings, and you can send feedback. You can send questions to us via hashtag ESPORTS ROCSTARS. Follow ROCCAT on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. You can listen to this show, Esports Rockstar, via iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and the podcast app of your choice.
Does it make sense to say that at the end of a podcast after they listen to it already?
Yeah, you are right. That's pretty dumb. Yeah, but maybe some people are listening to that on YouTube.
Oh.
And they think, maybe when I go out for a walk, I take my dog out for a walk. In German, we say Gassi gehen. And then you can listen to that podcast on your app, on the go, maybe.
And all links are in the link description.
Yeah, all links are in the link description.
In the description.
In the description, if you listen to that via YouTube. Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully we go to playoffs.
Yeah.
And then maybe we can do some special podcasts.
Let's cross the fingers.
All right.
Tien and Fred say bye-bye.